Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Footprints. I'm your host, Mr. Davis. I'm an educator at BHS, that's Beverly High School, for those of you who don't know. And joining me today on today's program is none other than the one, the only, Mia Chavez.
Hello.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mia to the show. So, Mia, it's glad to have you here. And I'm going to start off, I always ask this question of all my guests. I'm going to ask you as well. Tell us something about yourself that nobody knows. Kind of quirky, could be funny, whatever it is.
Wow. I don't know. I feel like I'm a very open book.
Okay.
It's like,
so that's all that. Well, maybe people don't know that about you.
Yeah, maybe people don't know that. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll take that. All right. Mia, ladies and gentlemen, is an open book. We like that. We like that. Mr. Davis is too. So that's a pretty good thing. So tell me, Mia, you have two siblings, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You are the oldest.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay. Your siblings are?
So my little sister is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Sophia. And
Okay.
my little brother is 8 or 7.
7 or 8. That's
One
okay.
of the two.
Oh, listen. Sometimes you can get confused. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's all right. Mr. Davis has 7 children himself, so sometimes that happens. You live with your mom, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you work at this place part-time called the Herrick House.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I originally first started working there last year, but then I quit because I got another job. But now I'm back at this new job, the Herrick House, which I've worked at before. But it's actually very nice. I work with elderly people. They all missed me so much. So when I came back, they were all like hugging me, like saying, "Oh my God, we've missed you so much," and like all this stuff. So
How
it's
great
really
is
fun.
that?
Yeah.
So your mom does that type of work as well?
Yeah, she does that too.
So think about that. So your mom imprinted that footprint on you.
Yeah.
To go do that, right? There it is. We love that. So on top of that, you do this thing that I love. You have a photography thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that you are the head of the photography club at school, at BHS? Is that true?
Not photography club, but
what actually is it?
It's Panther Sports Media is what we call it. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that.
I don't know if you know Bradley Griffin.
No.
So Bradley was a senior last year, and he was the original Panther Sports Media.
Oh, wait. No, I do know him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he ran it, and then he passed it on down to me, and now I'm a senior, so I'm trying to pass it down to someone else.
Okay.
And it's really fun running it. I go to all the games. I work with BevCam sometimes. A lot of experiences with like coaches and like athletes all the time too.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? You get to kind of shoot like some of the action stills from some of the sports events.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. Tell me a little bit about the YMCA job you have too. You're a busy gal.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of stuff here. Right?
So during the summer, I work the summer camp, which is 5 days a week. It's from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then during school, I work it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I do after school. So right after school, when I get out at 12:45 for senior privilege, I go right to work.
Wow.
Until 5.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, you're busier than me. I'm coaching basketball, I'm running around, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, but you're way busier than I am. That is pretty cool. Now, throughout your high school career, you've probably had some ups and downs. Tell us something that has made you, well, let me rephrase that. Let me say this. You're now a senior at BHS. And when you were a freshman, you probably didn't really know what was going on. So now being a senior, what advice would you give to your freshman self coming into BHS now?
I'd probably tell myself to just take it easy. Your teachers will understand.
Mm-hmm.
They understand that you're just coming in from 8th grade. And to just keep on going with my work because I was not, I wouldn't say a slacker, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Davis, I would so be behind on my work and I'd have to ask for extensions. And I always got the extensions because my teachers were really considerate, but it's just like, always make sure I'm ahead on my work.
Okay, so that's important, right? You got to keep up on everything. That's hey, listen, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Believe me, as a teacher, you're like, oh, I got to grade this paper. Oh no, I have many classes do I have? Trust me, I know how that goes. Tell me about you playing the flute and the piccolo. Tell me about that a little bit. How did that come about?
I've been playing, so I actually originally played strings. I played violin first in third grade. And then I fell in love with like the idea of music. So I started playing flute in fourth grade. And ever since I played it, and now I'm a senior, I've played it for 8 years, I believe, something like that. Yeah. And then piccolo, I actually picked up my freshman year. It's basically flute, just smaller and more high pitched and annoying.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. And I'm actually currently section leader for the BHS marching band and concert band.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
Yeah.
Mia, you got a full plate, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You were doing some things. Man, wow, since fourth grade. So I understand you got accepted to UMass Amherst.
Yes, I did. And I also just got accepted to UConn as well.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, so what are we going to study? Let me guess. Photography?
So yes, but no. So
okay. Let's explore.
I applied for 2 different majors. For UMass, I did education with a minor in photography and journalism.
Okay.
But then at UConn, they didn't have my education major that I wanted to do because I wouldn't have been able to get my master's, which you need in Massachusetts to teach.
Oh, absolutely.
At UConn, I applied for journalism, and they have one of like the better journalism programs. So at the moment, I'm waiting for financial aid to figure out which one I want to go to. But I know for a fact UMass is like my number one. Love that school.
Okay.
So it's like I'm like dead set on UMass, but I'm gonna try out UConn and see what it's like first.
Okay. All right. I like that. I was looking over my notes and I saw something that was really, really cool. It says you work with the Boston Globe in this journalism program.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got to tell me about that.
So I joined it during the fall season, and basically what I do is I just send John Vitti, he's the one that runs it. I send him in photos that I think were good from a game, and he'll pick which ones that are going to go on the site. And basically it's like a huge like catalog of just like photos from that week from high schoolers. I've had, I think I said 46 maybe-ish.
We'll take that, sure. 46 uploads.
Something like that.
Wow.
I have a lot posted from fall, and they posted me as like one of the photographers and they posted a photo of like me actually doing my work and like what I do.
Okay.
I was on a cover once. They used my photo for a story. I got put in the Salem News once.
Wow.
Yeah, so Look at
you.
I've been all over, yeah.
That's awesome. That's a high five right there. We need that. Tell me, what first drew you to photography? What was the thing that really made you interested in that?
I've always been wanting to find a hobby that makes me kind of like settle down and like just get away from all the stress. Bradley, actually, when he was doing it, I was really inspired by his graphic design work, like what he does for like game days and stuff.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, I loved it so much that I was like, you know what, I think I kind of want to do this. And then I just started doing it. And then he gave the account to me after Mr. Kelty gave me a camera, which was, that I'll have to tell you about after, but that was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so ever since, I fell in love with photography and was inspired by Bradley. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, that's beautiful. See, the footprint was imprinted on you, implanted on you. And you decided, hey, look, I'm going to take this passion, I'm going to run with it, right? And see where it goes. Do you have like a favorite theme or subject besides sports that you shoot, or is it you don't shoot like stills of like mountains or?
No, I actually during the summer started getting into that, and I went to Gloucester. I forget where it's called, but I went up to Gloucester, and there's a beach up there, and
so we got Niles Beach. We got Wingersheek Beach.
No.
Those are the two that I know.
It's like really popular. It's like, I don't know.
It could be one of those. I don't know.
Actually,
maybe
it could be. But it's like right near like a bridge, and then there's like a lot of ocean. And then
right.
There's like
So
a big
if you're coming
rock
over
up.
the yeah.
And
Okay.
I think it's like very beautiful. But anyways, during the summer, I would always just take out my camera because I always had it with me in my car with my mom, and I would just take it out, take photos of the nature. I have photos of flowers. Like, I just have the randomest things, like a duck, a squirrel. So the squirrel one is so funny though.
I love it. So obviously I was going to ask you, can you share a photo that you've taken that kind of holds special meaning for you, personal meaning or anything like that? Do you have anything like that you've done? Yes,
I think I do. I'll have to find it. Can I find it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go for it. Find it. While you're looking for that, I'm going to say this. Mia, ladies and gentlemen, is very busy, as you can tell. I mean, think about this for a second. Not only does she work with elderly folks, right, and her mother, but she's also a role model to her brother and sister who are looking up to her. And she got accepted at a couple of colleges of choice, right? And she works at the YMCA. And now she also does a thing with the Boston Globe. So this is a very busy young woman, and I'm happy to have her on our show today. Yes, indeed. So let me see what you got.
All right. So this is probably one of my more favorite photos, but to me it has a lot of meaning behind it.
Okay.
So you might know who this is.
I probably might. Let's take a peek. Oh, wait a minute.
It's Sean Costa.
That's football, right? Oh,
yeah.
No. Yeah, it's football.
It's Sean Costa, number 4 on the football team. We were playing Lynn Classical, and that photo ever since has been like my favorite photo. Like I think the only reason for it is because it's the way he was holding up the 4-0, and just the amount of emotions I captured during that game is what I think really got me, is because that game was just there was like a lot going on.
Yeah.
The kids were all riled up. Like there was no student section, but it was all parents yelling and screaming. And so like I literally,
that's scary.
Yeah. And that photo, like, I don't know, it's just always resonated with me. I always use it for like one of my top photos. I never submitted it to the Globe though, I think. I might have, I don't know, but I know that, yeah, that's my top photo by far.
So emotionally speaking, that was the one that really got you like, oh man, this is my thing, this is my jam, this is my passion.
Yeah, and
right?
I think that's also the moment I realized like I can make a career out of this. And
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
We love that.
And it's a photo of Sean Costa. I don't even talk to Sean Costa.
That's a great photo though.
But like, seriously, that photo of Sean is just really, I love it.
I love it too. Really nice job, Mia. Let's talk a little bit about some personal growth and some challenges you've had, because ladies and gentlemen, we all have them.
Yeah.
So without sharing like anything really too personal, you don't have to. How have you really kind of have your struggles sort of shaped who you are as a person?
A lot of my struggles have made me kind of realize that you're not alone in situations. I know that when I was like throughout all of high school, I dealt with stuff. And so I always felt like I was alone. I always felt like I didn't have the supports. I always felt like I wasn't ever like going to get back to where I was beforehand.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, basically I think it's like, yeah, I wish that I knew beforehand that I had those supports.
Right. So the beauty of that is, as we're going through our own struggles, because everybody has them, right? And you usually hear people say, hey, listen, let's be kind to everybody, because you never know what that person's going through.
Yeah.
And it's really, really true. You could be smiling on the outside, but really things are just tearing down on the inside. Like i.e. Robin Williams, right? Guy was an unbelievable comic, but he had a lot of issues, right? And so we want to always be kind to those people, right? We want to extend the olive branch, so to speak, right? Always want to be empathetic, because we never know. We want to always put the shoe on the other foot, right? Because we never know what's happening with somebody else, right? And we want to make sure that, if I'm good, then I want you to be good as well. So that's how it usually works,
and
right?
Speaking about that, like, I'm working on, for my senior project, a mental health documentary about athletes and how they struggle with mental health, and how everyone has their own thing going, and that it's not just something that people think is just like, oh, they're just sad. No, like it's a thing that really does happen.
It's a real thing, yeah. And that's the thing, like this society is different. When I was a kid, like, I got a couple of concussions playing football, and the coach would throw you back in, right? But I mean, nowadays you got to be careful, because there's so much stuff going on, right? And you never know what someone's dealing with at home or at school, or all the pressure and all that stuff. So yeah, mental health is a big thing, and we want to make sure everybody is taken care of that way. What or who has been your biggest source of support or influence?
Mr. Davis, I think you know the answer to that one.
I do. That's why I asked the question.
So Mr. Bren is my biggest supporter, biggest everything. I actually cried watching his Footprints episode when he mentioned me.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, thank you very much. I didn't mean to do that, but
well, yeah, I cried, and I was just like, I don't know, just hearing him say those words and how he left a footprint on me, he definitely did. And he's impacted me a lot. He's one of the only teachers that I feel like actually listens. Like, I know all my teachers listen, but it feels like deep inside, like he understands. He's always there for me. I always go to see him, like if I ever need something, and he's always there to just be that person to listen. So it's just, the biggest thing is listening, and he gives me quotes all the time. There's just one moment, Mr. Davis, that I just, like, I literally can't get over it. And I told Mr. Brent about it today, was there was like a thing going on at school, and I was not happy about it because I don't like when people gossip and stuff. And so Mr. Bren was giving me all this like just motivation to kind of just feel better about it and not take it to heart.
Right. And
that conversation just sunk in with me so much that it's improved me a lot, in a mental way. And Mr. Bren is just really...
So he's the guy that left that footprint right there, right?
Yeah.
And he's carrying it forward, and he's helping you over these different hurdles that everybody has in experiences, right?
Yep.
And that's the beauty of what we do as educators. You always have those moments where you hope to help a student, and to see it come to fruition is one of the best things that ever, especially as an educator or even just as a person. Yeah. But Mr. Bren's awesome.
Yeah, my college essay was all about him.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It was all about him. My senior quote's about him. He's been a huge person in my life.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And we love you too, Mr. Bren. You're the man. Yeah. So what are your hopes and dreams for the next chapter of your life? What are you thinking?
My biggest hope is, obviously I want to continue photography, but I'm hoping it gets somewhere to where I am feeling okay with it. I've had points during Beverly where it's just like I get unmotivated really quickly. I get drained, and it's just like I want to get to a point where it's like I'm doing it in a way that's comfortable to me, and I'm not forcing it upon myself to do it for the athletes. I'm doing it because I genuinely want to, because there was a sense of urgency to just do the photos. But now it's like I hope to actually feel like I'm not being pressured to do it at school.
I hear you.
So
yeah, absolutely. And the thing about, pressure, everybody kind of experiences it, right, in different ways. Like I coach basketball, and I always say there's two types of pressure: the type you put on yourself and the type that other people put on you. And which do you respond to, right? And so as human beings, obviously sometimes we crumble under that pressure and we need some help. Yeah. Right? And that's okay too, right? We can seek that out and find it in our educators, like guys like Mr. Brandon and other folks who are there, as well as educators and that can help us at BHS. If you could put a message on a billboard, I love this question, for everyone to see, what would it say and why?
I have to get the quote now.
I love it. I have
to get the quote. I love it. Mr. Bren's going to know what I'm talking about too, because this quote it resides really well with me.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Never stop doing good for others because of bad outcomes.
Oh.
And the reason why is part of it is because Mr. Bren. The other part is genuinely just because I really agree with that statement. It's like, don't stop what you love doing just because someone else is saying stuff about it, or just because someone else wants to put you down for it, or because it's getting bad reputation or something. Do something because you want to do it, as long as it's, okay and like not offensive to anyone.
Exactly. Like it's interesting to me because a lot of times people, they have these things they want to do, right? And it's great to want to do them. But you need to have this singular devotion to it too, right? You want to make sure you understand you don't want to hurt anybody. You just want to do your thing, right? And hopefully along the way, as you're doing your thing, you'll imprint some footprint on someone else who may see that, right? And they'll be like, wow, I didn't know that person was like that, or they were like that. And you actually help someone along the way without even knowing it. I always call it like a ripple in the pond, right? Because if you think about it, that's all we are as individual people. We're rippling each other. And how do we do that? Are we doing it in a positive way, or are we doing it in a negative way? And for me, it's always been, I'm the guy who's the cup is half full. I've always been that guy.
Yeah.
And so I like to influence people in a positive way, even if it's a negative situation. So I think that's really where it's at in terms of helping not only myself, but somebody else kind of find their journey and their path and what they want to do with their life, right? Kind of what Mr. Bryn did for you, which is awesome. I like that. What is it about you? Well, let me say this. What's something you've learned about yourself over the past couple of years?
I mean, I've learned that I pressure myself too much. I put a lot of pressure on myself for things to be not to say perfect, but because nothing's perfect, but I would say perfect for this because it's like I push myself all the time. This has to be perfect. This has to be perfect. Like I've noticed recently with my Reach project, I'm ahead of everyone else in my class because I want it to be perfect. Yeah. But yeah, that's like the one thing I've noticed about myself, and it's not good, but I've learned that since freshman year, the pressure has like lessened, which is good. So I've learned that pressure isn't that great on you.
Yeah. So what's interesting is you've learned to thrive under that pressure. Yeah. Right. And take it and turn it around and not get all worried about it and be like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah. Right. Now you're like, I'm going to knock this out the park. Right. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing, that confidence to have going into any type of project that you want to work on. I love that. Now I like this question. If high school were a photo album, right? What would be the title of your book?
Wow. Maybe like Behind the Camera or something.
Behind the Camera.
Something like that. Because I hide a lot behind my camera sometimes. But it's like I like that comfort. I like being able to hide behind something that makes me, because everyone knows I do photography. Everyone knows I love it so much. And it just feels good to be able to be my own self behind that camera. Absolutely.
I mean, when you find a passion for something, it never seems like work. You're always enjoying yourself, and you're just like, oh, this is great. And you just put so much energy and effort and time and passion into it. And that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of Footprints, is being able to do that and leave those on other people. So I'm thinking your photos have probably inspired a lot of folks in and around the Boston area, since you went to, sent those over to the Boston Globe, and you're in that journalism thing. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing to think about.
There's a couple freshmen that I've been working with photography. There's a couple 8th graders who've reached out to me. I've made a lot of friends with fellow photographers like around Boston, which is awesome. I have a lot of contacts now, and I was trying to go see the Red Sox and take photos for them, but that's difficult because media passes are like so hard to get.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they don't give those out like, you know. So, but you know what? I personally, Mr. Davis, this is me saying this to everybody, I think she's going to be fine, and I think she's going to do very big things. And we're going to feel a lot of her footprints and the ripples of those footprints as she continues on following her passion in photography and then all the other things she's going to do. I love it. What excites you most about graduating from BHS? What are you excited about it, or are you a little nervous about it? How do you feel?
I'm like in the middle about it. Okay. The one thing that I don't want to leave for is the photography. I've fallen so in love with it, especially at BHS, because everyone is just so supportive, especially the parents. One thing I'm excited for, though, I will say, is just to be able to go to a new place, see what it's like, and try out something new for once. I feel like the whole living with a roommate thing is just really exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Mr. Davis did that. It's kind of nutty.
Being away from home just feels awesome, not having like that constant pressure on your back all the time with my mom, my sister, my brother.
Yeah, no doubt. But the thing is, see the example you're setting for them. Yeah. They said, oh, look at this. Mia's doing this, and this. Man, she's striving and she's following her passion. That's great. And so having set that example, now they're like, wow, you know what? If she can do that, so can I. right? Now you've given them that hope, that confidence that they can also strive to do whatever it is they want to do.
My
and that's awesome.
My sister's already talking about college.
That's
and
what I mean.
She's 12.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. We want that. We want that pause. We need that. I mean, as we say all the time, children are the future. Yeah. So, I mean, we need them to strive to be the best version of themselves, for sure. How would you sum up your high school experiences in 3 words? Guys, that's a curveball one.
Yeah.
In 3 words, how would you sum it up?
3 words.
Yes. Behind the camera.
That's how I describe it? Yeah, okay, sure. I'd probably say like hard but productive or something like that. Hard
but productive.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, anything in life worth doing is going to be difficult, right? People think, it's easy, I'll just do that. No, it's not. You know, there's a level to everything, and you have to put in some work in order to get something out of it.
Yeah.
That's what my parents always used to say to me. It's like, hey, you get out of it what you put into it. So that's the biggest thing, I think, in terms of like anything you do in life, whether it be working on as a construction worker or teaching in a classroom, driving a bus, taking photos, whatever it is, right? You have to put something into it in order to get something out of it.
Yeah,
right?
I think Dr. Orr or Mr. Stanchel, the one that teaches history, they were telling me that if you it was something along the lines of if you're going into it thinking it's going to be perfect, you're not going to learn.
Right.
If you go into it thinking the opposite, then you will learn. It was something along those lines.
No, they're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you have a preconceived notion about how things are going to be, and then all of a sudden you get into it, you're like, oh, this is not what I expected.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So that usually happens, but that's okay too. So you just make adjustments along the way, right? And you figure it all out.
Yeah.
All right, couple good questions now to ask you. If you went on vacation, money were no object. You can go anywhere in the world on vacation. You could take anybody you wanted. Who would you take and where would you go?
Wow. Honestly,
yes,
I'd probably go. I mean, it's not really a vacation.
It's not?
Because I would want to go to, some big sports event or something like that.
Okay.
Something about
like the Super Bowl?
Yeah, like Super Bowl or what is it?
NBA Finals,
No,
maybe.
the soccer one.
Oh,
why am I blanking?
World Cup.
Yeah. Probably World Cup. And I'd probably take my friend Sylvie or Mr. Kelty.
Okay.
Either or Mr. Bren.
All right. Or all 3.
Or all 3, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Money's no object after all. We can break the bank.
I would definitely bring my camera, obviously, and I think that's what a great vacation would be. It's like shooting something that big for the world.
Yeah.
And that's just a dream vacation to me. That's all I want.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Even just to shoot the Red Sox, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool.
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing. And I'm sure Mr. Kelty, Mr. Brand, and Sylvie would enjoy the vacation
so
as well.
Mr. Kelty gave me my camera. I was going to tell you about that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
I told him that I was interested in photography and he told me that Bradley was looking for a successor. So I told him, well, I don't have money for a camera because we struggle financially. And he was just like, well, I have a camera in my office. And I was like, what? And Mr. Bren worked his way around so that Mr. Kelty could get it for me too. And so Mr. Bren convinced Mr. Kelty. Mr. Kelty gave it to me, and the camera's mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
So there's a huge footprint right there
Yeah.
by Mr. Kelty, right?
Yeah.
He's giving you a gift. Here you go. I know you're going to do some great things with it, right? And Mr. Bren was also instrumental in helping that along.
Exactly.
How great is that?
Yeah. And now,
two great guys.
And it was during tennis season, girls tennis. Mr. Bren coaches girls tennis. And that entire season of girls tennis, I was just was so into sports then. I used to hate sports. That's one thing about me that I can tell you about is hate sports. You'll never see me run. Right. Mr. Davis, if someone came in here right now and was chasing you, I'm walking that way. I'm not running.
You're not running.
I am not running. I cannot run.
I will be sprinting. I will tell you that.
I'll be walking. I'm sorry, but I cannot run. It's so bad. I can't do a push-up or anything. And I used to hate wellness.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about me. But it's like
But
now now it's different because I'm all about sports. I'm all about that whole thing. So it's like,
So then that's the beauty of the footprint, right? That was been implanted on you, and you're able to use that, and all of a sudden be like, you know what? Let me take a look at this. Maybe I might like this, and then all of a sudden you're into it.
Yep.
Right? And that's the beauty of it. We love that. That's awesome. Okay. Last question. If you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, it doesn't matter who it is, who would it be and why?
Selena Quintanilla.
The singer.
Yes.
Selena. Okay. And why? Why Selena?
First off, I want to know how she truly died and like what that whole situation was, because ever since I was in, I think, 6th grade, we learned about Selena and all like just the whole thing. We watched a movie about her, a TV show, and I've just been confused since. Like, I understand it was like her, I don't know, like the theories are insane, but also I just love her music because I'm Hispanic, Guatemalan, and her music is like the best. Like, I wish she was still alive till this day to sing.
I do like her music as well.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I usually have a couple, but I was thinking about this the other day, and this person I've met several times, but I've never broke bread with them. And I'd love to sit down and have a meal with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
So, and the reason being is, so let me just tell you real quick. Shaq used to come to Gloucester where I live. I live in Gloucester. I've been there 34 years. My wife is from there. And Shaq would come down to Gloucester because he had a contract with Reebok, and Reebok had a contract with Cirque, which was a T-shirt company in Gloucester. So I met Shaq a couple times. My wife's cousin met him a few times, and he was always super nice. But I've never had a chance to sit down and have a meal with him and ask him, because he does so many things now.
Yeah, he does.
He does, you know what I mean? He helps so many people. You know, kids, underprivileged kids during Christmas, he's always buying toys for them that, you know, to make their day a little bit brighter. And it's a guy who has everything, right? Money-wise. And he doesn't have to do that. But I want to ask him, like, why that? What footprint was implanted on you that you decided, hey, this is something I really want to do?
That would be a crazy episode.
It would be unbelievable. I would love to sit down with him. And maybe, ladies and gentlemen, I'll make it happen. I'll do my best.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, by the clock on the wall, it's time to go, and I really don't want to. We've had such a wonderful conversation with, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mia Chavez. So thank you, Mia, for being here today, and really appreciate the conversation. You can find us, ladies and gentlemen, on all the streaming services that have your podcasts, right? Most notably Spotify, right? We're on Channel 8. Also, BevCam, we'll post that as well. Channel 22, wherever you want to find us, we're there. Look for us. And I leave you with this, and I want you to think about this. Who left a footprint on you? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.